Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video we are going to install Nutanix Community Edition on using VMware Workstation on a home PC. The configuration of my PC is 32 gigabytes of RAM I have and ample amount of free space to start with the thin provisioning since we are not running any production load. So for us to test the deployment of the community edition, this configuration is pretty good. Right now, as far as the networking is concerned, I'm using the same LAN subnet that my host PC is connected to, which we will be using to configure the IP address for the Acropolis hypervisor plus the control virtual machine of Nutanix. Without further delay, let's proceed. Let me minimize the notepad. Okay, I have workstation open. So if you're not aware, then VMware Workstation is now free for personal use, which I have been using for a while. If you have not downloaded it, feel free to download and start using it. Okay, let me create a virtual machine. CentOS. VM01. Alright. Now there are 3 drives needed for this setup. One will be the boot, the second will be the hot tier, the third one is the cold tier. So for the boot we are going to assign 64 gigabytes, which should be enough. Let me click on finish and then we will go edit properties of the virtual machine. Okay, first of all, memory. So I'm going to give it around 20. Okay, that should be good enough. For the processor, I'll make it 6. Virtualization enabled. Hard disk, this one added. For the networking, we will need 2 adapters, one for the AHV and the other one for the CVM. And since we are going to communicate with the production and it requires the internet connectivity, which we will talk later, so I'm using bridge connections. So the first network is already there. Instead of NAT, I switch it to bridge. Let me add another network card, and that also is going to be bridge. So okay, that part is complete. Now we have to add 2 more hard drives. Let me click on add hard disk. I'm using iSCSI throughout, so 200 GB. So this is going to be my hot tier. Single disks, finish, and another one. SCSI, create a new virtual disk. Let's make it 500. Cool. Okay, so we have assigned 21 gigabytes of memory, 6 processor, 3 hard disk, and 2 network adapter and bridge mode. Since I have already downloaded the ISO, I will go ahead and select it. So this is, as you can see here, Nutanix CE 2.0 Fraser. So let's select that. Let me get rid of the sound card, we don't need it. Okay, all good, click OK. Right. Okay, let's power on this virtual machine. Unlike ESXi, what I have noticed is the Nutanix hypervisor installation takes a while to complete, so I will be pausing and resuming when the setup is going on, right? So let me just show you the initial phase, and then once it goes to the processing state, I'll be pausing it. So here, let me take a snippet. Alright. Let me enlarge the snippet while it is running in the background. Come on. Yeah, there you go. Okay, as you can see here, while the boot process is running, since I have used bridge connection, it is able to reach the DHCP server and It has detected the two Ethernet cards, ETH0 and ETH1, and you can see IP addresses are assigned as well, 1.16 and other one is 1.11. Okay, right. So this process does take some time. We'll just wait for a minute here and then we will post the video once it is back online. I've taken this reference or screenshot, right? As you can see here, I don't have to necessarily check my router GUI to check for the available IP addresses, since it is picked up by the DHCP. That's what my understanding is, right? So these are the available IPs that I can use. So that's why I've taken a screenshot of this. So I'm going to make use of the same IP addresses, that is for my Ethernet card, or you can say for AHV we will assign 1.16, and for the CVM we will assign 1.11. Okay, so it has detected Community Edition. Okay, now this phase is going to take some time here. I'm going to pause the video, go grab a cup of tea or coffee, and then we will resume. Here now we are in the configuration page. Okay, there you can see I made a mistake wherein the disk serial number is not populated. Let me power off this VM. We have to make an entry in the VMX file, so let me copy that, which is disk.enable UUID equals to true. So since I know the location where I have saved my VMs, so let me go to that folder and VM0, open the VMX file, edit all the way down, and we'll add the line here. Close the file, save it. Okay, it's good. Let's power on the virtual machine. 2.168.1.16 for my Ethernet 0, 11, for now I'm going to skip that options, create single cluster. Let me quickly go back to the snippet and confirm. So my Ethernet 0 is 1.16 and my Ethernet 1 is 1.11. That is correct. My subnet is good and the gateway is good. Okay, let's hit next. Right, now here we can simply use the page down and scroll through, because it is a mandate. You have to go through the entire EULA. So to fast the process, you can use the page down and then click tab, hit the space bar to select that option, click tab one more time, use the right arrow key and select start, and then hit enter. Okay, it has already detected the ISO. Now the setup will begin. I'll just let it run for a while so that you can see what run comes on the screen, and then we'll pause the video and come back once it is complete. So as you can see here, my system time is 1:35, so we can make a note how long does it take. Probably in a production environment where most powerful servers will be quicker. Let's see how long it takes in my system here. Okay, as you can see here, It took about 30 minutes to complete the installation, so now it's asking us to reboot. So I'm going to hit yes here and go back to the setting of my virtual machine and remove the drive. Click OK. Alright. Let me do a quick check on how much free space memory available. So we are running at 90%. So 28. I'll try to adjust this value a bit. Hopefully I don't run into performance issue here. Okay. So we are back in our Nutanix AHV login page. Here the default credentials is root and the password is all lowercase Nutanix / for you. Okay, so yep, we are in the AHV login screen, so we will use the default credentials, which is root and Nutanix / for you. Once we successfully log into the AHV, then we can run a command to check if what is the status of the CVM. So there you go, it is running. Now we can try to SSH into the CVM by running the SSH command, followed by Nutanix as the user. So once we do it, now for the first time when we do it, it will ask to install the certificate, so which is good. There you go. Now we are inside the CVM, so we can run a couple of more commands to check the status of the other services. For example, Genesis service status. So if we run Genesis space status, so it will report the status of the services. So as you can see here, the services are not running yet, so we can run another command such as watch the Genesis status, and that will continue to track the status of the service as and when each of the components starts. So there you go, we have run the command. Now let's see. Okay, so as you can see, there are a couple of process IDs against the Genesis, so we shall have to wait for the remaining services to start as well, and we will begin to see some process ID similar to what we see on the screen for the Genesis service. Okay, I'll just wait for a while before I pause the video just to show how it looks. I've noticed that the starting of the services takes a while. So there you go, as you can see here, the number of process IDs against the Genesis service is increasing. Eventually we will have the remaining services up as well. Yeah, what I was saying is probably because it's a home PC, that's why it takes a while for the services to come online. Maybe in a production server it will not be that long. So there you go. So it took a fairly good amount of time. I haven't kept a track of the time, how much it took, but I'm pretty sure it was like maybe 25 minutes. So yeah, we still have a couple of services to start. Let's wait for them to start. And then we can take it from there. Okay, so we are making progress. There you go, that's the final status of the services. We can see all the services has PIDs. Now the next step would be to check if we are able to log into the UI page. So as you can see here, I have used the CVM IP address followed by : port 9440. Let's see if we are able to log in. Now, as I said, I'm using bridge connectivity for this virtual machine, so it will have access to the internet, and this internet connection is required um, in the process where it will connect to the next. It will ask you to log in with your next credentials. So that's the reason why you need the internet access to the virtual machine. Okay, it's taking a little time here. Okay, come on. All right, there you go. The Prism page is loaded, so I have already changed my credentials. Now, upon first login, the default password is admin Nutanix /4u. Once it is successfully validated, and it will prompt you to change the password. So once you change the password, it'll bring you back to this Prism login page where you can use the username as admin and key in your password. After you key in your password, then it will take you to the next login page where you can use the email address that you have used to create the next account. Okay, I'm just going back and forth just to check, if all the services are okay. Because when our first attempt failed with the endpoint not available, let's give a reattempt to log into the Prism page. So there you go. As you can see, you're unable to authenticate. This probably is because of one of the other services still dependent and which is yet to start. You might also experience the same challenge when you're doing it in your lab environment with limited resources. But yeah, I think patience is the key here if we are installing it in a home lab. So okay, let's check. Okay, buddy, come on. It looks promising to me if it is thinking. It is taking longer than the previous attempt wherein it was throwing the error unable to authenticate. Probably it will let us in to the management UI page. So let's cross our fingers. Perfect. Yeah. So this is the screen I was talking about. Since I already have keyed in my credentials, so it will just check the connectivity. Is it able to reach? If yes, we are good. Awesome. So this is the page. Now, since I have limited resources, so you might see a little bit of sluggish behavior on the browser. Yeah, it is working. We have successfully installed the Community Edition on VMware Workstation Pro 17 using 21 gigabytes of memory and 3 hard drives in 10 provision. So let's take a quick, let's quickly explore this. A few of the buttons here, options available, maybe I would say. So if we go to settings, we might see, just like VMware vCenter, we have cluster details. Okay, configure VM, expand cluster. Okay, there are a lot of options here. Yeah, but yeah, this is indeed sluggish, which is okay as long as we manage to successfully install it. Exploring the product if it is giving us options, which is good one. Right, okay, some of the errors are there which probably I'll have to address, but for now the main objective of installing CE on a workstation in a home lab to explore how Nutanix functions, I think we have met the objective. So okay, if we go to VM, probably we'll see the list of VMs. Right now I haven't read in depth, but Nutanix creates a VM which is the CVM, control virtual machine, so which is not similar to the vCenter server, but it does the hyperconverged management. So this is installed as a prerequisite, you can say. I will have to do a lot of reading on Nutanix. Maybe if I can find some white papers. Yeah. Okay, networking. Let's click on networking and see how the networking settings look here. Okay, alright, fantastic. So it looks like it is showing us a diagram of the control flow from the VM all the way to the switch. Okay, there are some issues, looks like, on this switch part, which I have to address maybe later, not in this video. Okay, so that's the networking part. What else? We have alerts, alert system. Okay, so it's a dashboard for the alerts. Whatever deactive or acknowledge alerts will be shown here, I think. Right, okay, that looks good. Okay, so if you further click on the alert, it will give us suggestion, which is a good thing. That's great. Okay, let's see what else we have. Maybe we go back to VM. Okay, so that's the details of the cluster. Okay, network. So we have the switch, the VLAN. Okay, all the settings are there. I haven't seen wherein we can add interface or anything. Probably some other place, right? So yeah, I think at this point need to explore more, right? Okay, I think there you go. Under settings, if I go to network configuration, there you go. This is the page I was looking at, where I can create new virtual switch, just like how we have in the VMware, right? We can create standard switch, distributed switch. Okay, interface, right? Perfect. Okay, this is the networking configuration I was looking for. Perfect. Okay, if I click on home, then yeah, it goes back to the dashboard presentation of all the components, I think, starting from disk, cluster, right? Okay, that looks good. Okay, so if I run this command, cluster status, probably it will show me the status of all the services. Okay, let's run and let's see here. Okay, I think at this point it's all about exploring the various items. It's all about navigating through all the options available. Okay, so in the VM, there is one VM. I don't see any VM, although we know that there is one VM running. How about try creating a new VM? Okay, that's still running to check. Okay, this is the create new VM page. Okay. Okay, so I think it's all about exploring and navigating through all the options in this community edition now. Happy learning, and thank you for viewing. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, and share the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a good day.